Hello everybody. Welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day. As always, a free way to support the channel is by leaving a like, by commenting, or by subscribing if you have not already done so. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. At the moment, when I first woke up a couple of minutes ago, the altcoin news was a little all over the place. Altcoins have begun to jump to previous brand new, all new, amazing, wonderful highs. It says Ethereum approaches $4,000 in a multi-week high. And I was like, why? What's going on? What's happening? Bitcoin shot up overnight while we all slept. Well, many of you are probably still sleeping because I wake up incredibly early. It says Bitcoin hit $60,000 for the first time since April, after reports of an imminent ETF approval. I'm going to try and make this as unhypey as possible. If you've been here before, if you have been, thank you for coming again. I am of the opinion that the US SEC is going to take from now until eternity to launch any type of a Bitcoin ETF-esque anything within their borders. So the news apparently over the evening was that there was a tweet that was sent out by the US SEC, I believe it was them, that said that they have no disagreement, no disapproval for the idea of a Bitcoin futures ETF being released. This news, for some reason, went all over the Twitter sphere and the Facebook sphere and all these other places, basically announcing that this is going to happen on Monday. Once again, bring your hype level down, because I know somebody around the room is dancing right now. So make sure you keep yourself in check, because we've had slight rumors of this happening before. However, nothing has actually taken place. Until something happens, then we can actually celebrate. However, the rest of the cryptocurrency market is of the opinion that this is about to happen. It says Bitcoin futures premiums shoot 3x amid strong rumors of Bitcoin futures ETF price. Bitcoin's price knocks on $60,000 amidst growing rumors of a Bitcoin futures ETF approval by the US SEC. According to a report on Bloomberg, the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, in the US is expected to make the first approval of a Bitcoin futures exchange traded fund. The report outlined that the SEC isn't likely to block the product from starting to trade next week, while citing persons privy to the matter. Intriguingly, the regulator had, before the above report, published a cautionary statement on Twitter account saying, before investing in a fund that holds Bitcoin futures contracts, make sure you carefully weigh the potential risks and benefits. Investors should be aware of the difference between a Bitcoin ETF and a Bitcoin futures ETF. The Bitcoin ETF actually holds Bitcoin, while the futures ETF actually holds futures contracts of Bitcoin. So it's not the exact same thing. However, people have, the optimism is definitely there. Not to be left out from the price prediction news of the day. It says Bitcoin's price could surge nearly 10x from its current price. This was said by ARK Invest's Cathie Wood, who also is an avid supporter of the Bitcoin space. I have heard nothing negative from her mouth about Bitcoin ever. A lot of people are quite excited. We've had the news, it's been about 4 or 5 years now, that any type of a Bitcoin ETF is going to be extremely good for the market. Once again, keep this in mind, and I'm going to tell you this as a computer friend. Part of the reason, nearly the entire reason why we have any Bitcoin futures, you can find in the article. It's not me making it up. I'm not simply throwing nonsense out there. If you Google Trump administration Bitcoin futures, you'll find the actual news. I think we had this in 2019 or the beginning of last year. People were asking why we actually had a Bitcoin futures approved in the first place in 2017. For those of you who don't know the time frame, a lot of people were assuming that we'd get something Bitcoin-esque going to traditional markets. That was kind of the news back then. There was nothing about all this other adoption. It was like, once there's anything traditional linked with the word Bitcoin in the traditional markets, on the stock exchanges, Bitcoin's price would skyrocket. We got news sometime in November. I think that was the time frame that we were going to have a Bitcoin futures launch. I forgot the exact time frame, does not matter. And then all of a sudden, lo and behold, we had a Bitcoin futures that ended up launching. And there were a lot of people who were saying, this isn't as great as people think it was. So Bitcoin went from $7,000, $8,000, $10,000, $14,000 to hit $20,000. You know the entire story. This is why many of you are in the market right now. And then Bitcoin swiftly began to fall down. And the news that we started getting all the time was Bitcoin is falling because of the futures expiration. Bitcoin is falling because the futures price is this. Bitcoin is falling, or Bitcoin has fallen as Bitcoin is going to continue to fall because the futures say this is Bitcoin's price as opposed to what Bitcoin's price actually was. So the news that we ended up getting was somebody who was formerly in the White House who said that the only reason why they actually approved a Bitcoin futures is because they saw that the people in the Bitcoin market were far too, you can find the article, it's not me making it up, we went over this in an entire video. They saw that the price of Bitcoin and people in the market were far too optimistic. At this point, we believed that Bitcoin was going to hit 30,000, 35,000. There was no real end to the party, if you will. So they introduced futures for people to be able to bet against or to short or whatever word you kind of want to use there, the market, to make sure that there was a leveled playing field. And this actually ended up causing the Bitcoin market to fall. So a lot of people are going to be very excited if we do get this Bitcoin futures ETF. I think it is actually going to cause an avalanche of money to enter our market. If it does, I told you we would have this discussion at the beginning of this year. When it gets to a point, because I know that a lot of new people are in the market. I've seen my subscriber count rising, so I know that a huge portion of people are relatively new here. We are probably going to have an actual discussion of prices do not go up forever. If this is approved and we get swiftly to a $100,000 Bitcoin, a $150,000 or $185,000 Bitcoin, I'm going to make sure to remind everyone it might be time to take profits. You should all, at this point, if you do not have one now, today is the day, before we get to Monday, if this does happen, you should have a cash out number. That is to say, if you got into random numbers, if you got into Ethereum at $100, and Ethereum is $7,000, you've made a pretty hefty profit. Don't wait for Ethereum to hit 10,000 or 14,000 or 21,000 because someone else told you that it would. The idea is, this is how I invest normally, while Ethereum's price might continue to 14,000, 20 something other thousand, this is a big risk. If you've already made a huge profit, don't extra risk just to make sure that you can be able to brag to someone else. If the money if the market pumps, the money that you've made allows you to buy a house, buy multiple investment properties, do something that is absolutely life-changing for you, have the conversation with yourself to be able to know that you are able to mentally take out that money at that time and kind of live your best life, is what I'm saying. Just, we're going to have that conversation, but I need to put it out there because everyone, you have to have a cash out number. You have to have an area where you feel comfortable enough. I've made enough money to be able to live comfortably, to be able to buy a house, to be able to invest the way that I want to. Don't assume that Bitcoin's going to hit $1 million this cycle. Very popular news. This is all over the place. It is probably going to continue to be all over the place as the weekend continues on. I'm assuming, and I know this will sound relatively ridiculous, we will be able to tell quite easily if by Sunday there's still a major price trend or if people are really trying to push the price down in anticipation of another price pop. So it's another price might go up, price might go down kind of a situation. But I think as more people wake up to this news, I think we're going to see a lot more energy start to enter the market. Yeah, it says Bitcoin futures ETF is coming. No SEC opposition. SEC likely to allow Bitcoin futures ETF to trade next week. The energy is definitely there. Why we could see the first approved US Bitcoin ETF in October. October. And Bitcoin pops on expectation of Bitcoin futures ETF approval by the SEC. So I guess, once again, try not to get your hopes up. This is what I do. I know it's very difficult. We've all been waiting for these moments for a very long time. A lot of people are waiting for prices to pop. But if you keep your expectations low and something amazing happens, well then, time to celebrate. If you keep your expectations low and nothing happens, you're still on the same course, things will be fine. So yeah, that's the Bitcoin ETF expectation potential approval by Monday Bitcoin price news. And without further ado, let's move on. Also in slightly popular news, Shiba Inu keeps making the news every single day, and I just assume this is going to happen. Supporters of the popular meme-inspired cryptocurrency known as Shiba Inu have been signing a petition asking commission-free trading platform Robinhood to list their cryptocurrency on their platform. The petition is titled, "Kindly Request of Robinhood to List Shiba Inu Coin," has at press time over 241,600 signatures, and is looking to reach 300,000. It mentions that Robinhood has listed Dogecoin, a rival meme-inspired cryptocurrency that was a huge success for the trading platform. Shiba Inu is doing incredibly well. I believe it's still in the top 20 coins. It continues to move upward in price. People are buying, trading, and all these other things with Shiba Inu coin. I think if they end up getting some really big listings, I think the coin will do a lot better. This is, not really much more to say if I can be completely honest, but this was slightly popular news of everyone talking about the potential of it being listed on Robinhood. I think it's on I'm pretty sure it's on Coinbase. I think it's on Binance. The other platforms, I'm not sure, but I assume they want to be on as many platforms as possible. That's how you get all the trading volume. Anyway, that's the Shiba Inu news. It was kind of popular, so alas, there it is. Let's move on. In other popular news that was all over the place, Ripple, the company, is poised to play a huge role in the digitization of the United Kingdom's currency. The San Francisco-based fintech startup has struck a deal with a nonprofit organization working toward the development and implementation of a digital pound through the Digital Pound Foundation. Per an announcement on the 14th of October, Ripple has joined the Digital Pound Foundation as a founding member. The move signals Ripple's commitment to central bank engagements, focusing on supporting central bank digital currency projects. And before you suck your teeth, Lumens does the exact same thing, because I know there's somebody in the comment section trying to talk about how bad Ripple is. All these companies are doing the exact same thing. There are also other decentralized currencies who are trying to get governments to actually put their central bank digital currencies on side chains on other decentralized coins. So stop typing. The blockchain firm harbors the opinion that the UK has been leading the way in bolstering innovation in the crypto industry, and the creation of a digital pound is the sensible aftermath of that work. It looks like Ripple is finally back on track, if you will, from where they previously were before. Ripple was the first, besides the Winklevoss twins, who believed that regulation was not only coming, but that regulation was good for the industry. Whether you agree or disagree, sure, why not? Over the last year or two, Ripple has become very NFT, DeFi, smart contract, decentralization, hyper-centric, and has kind of lost a huge part of their original mantra of working with banks and governments to basically use XRP as the currency that would flow around the world. As stablecoins became a thing, I think Ripple also realized that they had to kind of change it up a bit. So them being part of this foundation that is going to help structure or create the digital pound, I assume they're doing so not only to have their name kind of out there, but in the end, if they are the blockchain that is part of this project, we could potentially see a portion of the amount of digital pounds running around on their blockchain as well. That is hyper speculation on my part, but one can assume they're not simply part of this just to say, we make coins and hit buttons and stuff like that. I assume, part of the partnership has to do with that as well. Very popular, kind of all over the place. I think it's because we haven't had any gigantic Ripple news in a very long time. Like I said, the other Ripple news was they're trying to expand the XRP ledger. They're trying to make NFTs on the XRP ledger. They're trying to make this more decentralized. It's been news, but other blockchains have already done that. It is quite rare to see any project actually partner with a country or to partner with anything that's been making a central bank digital currency. It says Ripple joins Digital Pound Foundation. Here's its role in the central bank digital currency development. Ripple announces it has joined the Digital Pound Foundation to design a path for a central bank digital currency. And yeah, you kind of get the idea. So good on them. This is one of their original goals of being able to try and do this. I hope it works out for them. Not really much more to say, just to be completely honest. This was their original idea of being able to do stuff like this, so hope it works out for them. And let's move on. In rich people talking positively about the cryptocurrency space news, the chief executive officer of global investment bank Morgan Stanley says that cryptocurrency, including Bitcoin, is not a fad, noting that they are not going away. He says, "We're watchful of it, we're respectful, and we'll wait and see how the regulators handle it." If every one of you hasn't gotten this by now, and I should make a dedicated video showing you all of these people. This guy's about number 27 in a long list of billionaires and millionaires. I'm sure he's a billionaire, of people who have once before in the past either stood on the negative sidelines or said something negative about the cryptocurrency space. And now for some odd reason that I can't seem to figure out, maybe I'll get it one day, it's money, are now all coming out talking about that Bitcoin's here to stay. Some of them say that Bitcoin's amazing. Some of them will even tell you, hey, you got to get into this Bitcoin thing, because we've had news for a while that since around 2014, this is usually the time frame that we keep getting, 2014, that these people have actually not only been in the market, but they've been buying up tons of Bitcoin. It might even own some of those gigantic wallets. Morgan Stanley CEO James Gorman talked about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency during the bank's third quarter earnings call with analysts Thursday morning, emphasizing that crypto is not going away. He said, "I've said it publicly before, I'll say it again. I don't think crypto is a fad. I don't know where the value of Bitcoin should or shouldn't be, but these things aren't going away." This, my dear friends, of course, was one of the most popular news stories of the day. It beat out the fact that Ripple is actually working with the UK to make a central bank digital currency, and it was a smidge, an actual smidge, away from beating out the SEC news. Why the fascination with old rich people? I'm not sure. However, it keeps floating around all over the place every single time, and this happens about thrice a week. Yeah, roughly around there. Why is there? You know what's really funny? Never mind. Whatever, I'll say it. Because I know that if I don't say it, people will be upset that I didn't say it. So I was talking with a friend, this was weeks ago, and I said twice, and I was like, no, sorry, thrice. And then they were like, you used the word thrice? And I'm like, yes, it's an English word. Many people should be using the word thrice. And then they said, what's the word for four? And I was like, quatrice? I don't think there is a word for it. Like, there's no actual word for a four thrice. Should we make one? Anyway, so yeah, another rich person has come out in support of the space. It's really weird how this actually has an effect on prices. It has an effect on many other people mentally, because they see these people, and I'm not sure if it's people want to obtain their level of wealth, and therefore if they speak highly of Bitcoin, they then think that they should be getting into Bitcoin. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but I only have one tab open. So thank goodness that Morgan Stanley CEO said something good about Bitcoin, because I was going to leave the market. I needed his reassurance, but, you know, thank goodness for that. Anyway, yeah, it's also the same. Morgan Stanley CEO, Bitcoin is not going away. I'm glad that he had to tell us that, because I just assumed Bitcoin was going away tomorrow. All right. Let's move on. Oh, also in the news, popular asset manager Bitwise has filed for another Bitcoin ETF product with the New York Stock Exchange ARCA, a major move it is making after the rejection of its previous application, as unveiled by the company's chief investment officer, Matt Haugen. Bitwise currently has an active Bitcoin futures ETF application. However, the firm believes that an actual Bitcoin ETF is better for investors. So after the Bitcoin futures potential ETF news came out, we got news that Bitwise has refiled with the US SEC for this. I assume they have an active filing application for the Bitcoin futures one because that seems far more likely, so they'll probably end up getting that. An actual Bitcoin ETF is the thing that would really help our prices because it allows companies to actually buy up huge amounts of Bitcoin. I'm actually really shocked that so many other companies have simply not just done what Grayscale has done. They are ETF-esque in nature, though they are not ETF by name. They, as a company, still buy cryptocurrencies and mainly Bitcoin on behalf of investors in the same exact way that you would normally do so for an ETF. But alas, other people have tried to file with the SEC to no avail. So yeah, Bitwise has refiled again. Once again, hopes on the ground because I think the US SEC is special in nature and has no intention of allowing any of this to go through. Just remember, never forget this. Bitcoin hit $63,000 without us having any Bitcoin ETF. It can and will do the same again. Bitcoin accumulation has only increased since we hit $63,000. We can only assume that the three companies that we heard about last year who were buying up all the Bitcoin that gets mined every single day are going to continue to do so. So prices will increase even if we don't have a Bitcoin ETF. Always make sure to remember that. The numbers do not lie. What's this one? Oh boy, this is also really big. Oh gosh. So remember remember when the entire Elon Musk Dogecoin situation kind of thing was happening and people were talking about how Bitcoin mining was not green enough. And then all these other billionaires, it was three of them, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, came out and basically said, hey, we think that cryptocurrency mining and the entire arena has to be regulated and we are the people to be able to regulate it. And I was like, hey, maybe this is a bad idea. The entire idea is this is all meant to be decentralized. There's not one governing body that controls everything. There are thousands of them. You yourself can go out right now, buy a computer, and start mining Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, any coin that you choose because it is your right in the cryptocurrency space. So whenever anyone, especially a group of rich people, get together and say, hey, we want to oversee the entirety of this market, that's what, boys and girls? That's a red flag. I mean, you can't see the flag because it's not actually in my hand, but the one I'm waving is quite gigantic. It's the size of 3 houses. Red flag. Rich people keep saying that our market is garbage. They don't pay attention to it. They start looking into it. They become obsessed with it. And then they want to be the entire sayer for the entire space. We believe as rich people, we should be able to say what's happening. We know what's best because we have the most money and we have the most mining equipment. Red flag. On that same exact story, there's now a situation within the cryptocurrency space where we know that regulations are coming or regulations are here, regulations are something, regulation. Coinbase and many other cryptocurrency exchanges, companies, rich people are now coming together and they say that they believe that they should be the ones to oversee the cryptocurrency market. Red flag. Why? Because we've heard before, you can find this out, just for as an example, this is the third time I'm saying this week, thrice. We know that the people from Coinbase and this guy right here, who we've read through articles, prefers Ethereum over Bitcoin. He himself believes that Ethereum is a lot better, it's a lot quicker, is a lot more robust, yada, yada, yada. However, in a free market, everyone should have the right to choose which coin they think is great. I've said this for a very long time. If for some reason the market entirely decides that Tron is the greatest coin in the world and everyone moves towards Tron and everything gets built on Tron, well then, gosh darn it, Tron is the winner. However, when you are predisposed to believing that one coin is better than another, what happens if you are the regulator or the overseer of the entire market and you simply say, well, Litecoin isn't doing too well, Bitcoin I don't really care for, XRP shouldn't be a coin, let's build everything on top of Ethereum. You kind of see where this ends up going, and then we have a gigantic tower built in a city that has the Ethereum symbol. We're told that the market is still decentralized, but it's not really that decentralized as it was before. So, for those of you not looking at the screen, it says Coinbase calls for a single regulator to oversee the crypto markets. I haven't brought you this news over the course of this week. It's a lot of regulatory news, not the most popular, but there are a couple of companies in the cryptocurrency space, and Coinbase is one of them, who has announced that they want a seat at the regulatory table. And this isn't going to be something where they sit with regulators and go, here's our ideas. No, they want to be the idea that is put forth, and then they are the one who actually, so not to spend too much time on it, but they have forgotten what decentralization means, and they don't really care. A lot of these people have become 100 millionaires and billionaires because of the cryptocurrency space, and it's because of this they believe that they should be the ones to dish out regulations. Or it would be a lot more interesting if Coinbase and any other company thinking about something for the space, and I don't mean like a Twitter poll, I mean actually had something on their website where they made sure that they had 300,000 responses from their users as to what they believed should be for the cryptocurrency space, but that never happens. It's always the company and the head of the company who decides for everyone else. So just remember the word decentralization as we go forward, because that's going to be put into question by a lot of these companies. And to finish things off, in Sure Why Not news, a lot of people have been hyping this up as well. Tesla earlier this year announced that they were into Bitcoin, and then they announced that they were into Dogecoin. And then Tesla was like, hey, we also bought some Bitcoin, and everyone was like, woo! Bitcoin's price went up. A couple of weeks later, Tesla announced that they sold some Bitcoin. They said that this was done to test the market, which actually did work. Their idea being they wanted to be able to buy up tons of Bitcoin, sell off a huge portion of it, and not have the market move at all or know that they were selling. What actually happened was is that no one knew they were selling. Our prices remained relatively stable or even went up around that time. So them selling off into the market basically did nothing, showing that there was a big enough cushion for them to get into the market, if you will. On top of that, since then, prices have gone up and they've made $1 billion on their Bitcoin investment, even after having sold some of it. So once again, any type of Elon Musk, Tesla, hypey news, people lick his boots, and it drives me absolutely insane. Like, I don't understand why people... Anyway, yeah, so this is also quite popular. Tesla has still made $1 billion from their Bitcoin, even after selling it. And I assume in 5 years, we're going to get that they made 15 billion, and how great Elon Musk is for having, seen into the future. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters, Professor Wally from Gunbot University. And let's move on. Chris, Hakeem Williams, Empire Queen, Stake It With Valor, Fud, Wiser, Mortified, Roman Gaba, Bitcoin Bin, Arachno Dave, Tony Ambroski, The Dealer's Den, Red Plump, Tomato, Umnu, Wish Nikki the letter M, Stephen Dirk, Not Brain, Captain Something in the Z-Way, Lake, Crypto, Black Sheep, AJ Cut 5, Speedy 655, and Carlos was like Mobarazi, Jojo, Shawshow, VB Nerd 21, Miguel Grole, Lauren De Silva, Quarter Bitty, Barebones, Mining, Troy, all good. Space Case, there we go. Need a Miracle, Patrick Noster, Conan Oskip, Leg Day, Snacky Chan, Conan Oskip, Leg Day, Snacky Chan, Tolik Banana, Auspicious Agile and Blockchain, Navarro Williams, David James, Attila the Han, Yasha Harari, Utopia 569, Moonman High, XRP, Martin Story, Nostromo, Josh Huston, The Anima Rita, Bibliophobia, Todd Mullis, Adam Graystick, Mohammed Roni, Massive Ventures in Thailand, Jared Shadow, Wise Knight, Owl, 242 to the World, Bankroll Network, Crypto Artist, Coldy 3D, Damien, Setsuna, Rich, Richard III, Vlad, the Impaler, Paxis, Nick Mann, Gialavoti, Jim Garner, Jimmy Fox, Minting Coins, Miller, Hitch Chest, Everyday, and Kyle Skips Leg Day. Yes to Crypto, Bodie McBoatface, Anytime Fitness, Mars Corner Staff, Bake Me a Cake, Tigger, Macho Nisa, All Crypto with Lana, Crayola, Michelle, URL, and Bolero Bastos. 3 breaths, and lightheadedness. Thank you all very, very much for your support, for your continued support. Thank you to all the new Patreon members. Thank you to everyone who left a like, a comment, who has subscribed, who clicked the little join button below, who's still here listening to me not be too enthusiastic about Elon Musk. At the moment, Bitcoin is at 59,281 US dollars. Here's 60,000 right here. Here's a little dip right here. Currently up by 3%. Ethereum is up by 4.3 percentile points. Solana is up by 8%. No Solana news, but alas, there it is. Uniswap is up by 5. Matic is up by 29%. No Matic news either. I assume something Matic-y is happening, and that's why the price is rising. Anything else crazy? Nope. All right. Let's see where the weekend takes us. I do hope that you all enjoyed. I do hope that you all are having a great day. Wait. Happy Friday. Make sure to enjoy yourself this evening. Do something fun. I almost said rent a movie, and I was thinking of Blockbuster. Oh boy, how times have changed. Great day, great morning, great afternoon, or great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, and supporting, and I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See